One time I faked demon possession at Camp Windshape, which is funded by Chick-fil-A. It's a camp in North Georgia, focused around Christian values. This was in the 80s. I had arrived for 2 weeks of camp. The first night I found myself in a cabin with a counselor who was already asleep and about 10 other boys my age who were kind of asleep. My bed was right beside the window, the only window in the cabin, so I decided to make hand gestures in front of the window to put light on the other side of the wall. You know, stuff like that. But as soon as I did it the first time, I heard one of the kids whisper to the other one, "What's going on?" And so I decided in the moment to turn this into this. And then I got up and started walking around. Umba kubili, rasba rulaba, over every bed with my eyes like rolled back in my head, and they were tripping. And I did it every night. At the end of the 2 weeks, the counselors approached me and took me to the steps of the local chapel. I was on the steps facing away from the building, and they were on the steps below me facing the building, about 5 of them. They asked me, "Young, has anybody in your family ever been in the occult?" At that moment, at the age of 8 or 9, I decided to look over their heads and go. 2 of them broke into tears, grown men. Other 2 dudes started praying, and one guy tried to hold me and start praying. One holding me was my camp counselor, and I always figured he kind of knew what I was up to, but I was never sure. Anyway, they didn't promote me in camp. They sent me home and said I was probably one of the worst people they'd ever had there. So to wrap it up, in 2 weeks of Chick-fil-A camp, I learned how to wet my sawdust in my sock for a brutal sock war and fake demon possession. I will say, though, I went to Truett Cathy's house. He invited like 200 kids there and fed us all Chick-fil-A sandwiches and waffle fries in an 8-story house. No weirdness. He seemed normal.